Let's go to our family online, that wherever they are mashaAllah their numbers strong, growing. Please share the feed, please make a comment in the videos, comment on social media. You don't have to make 10 comments on every video, just one comment is enough. Too many comments and then they mark against us as a spam, but one comment per video, per social media. This is a khidmat. We've described it's so easy to be of service. The easiest service is that if you take from a reality you owe something for it. We're not a people like thieves where we just go somewhere and we take everything we can, we put all in our pocket. I've seen videos of like buffets, they all line up in the buffet, they're putting the shrimp in their pockets and running. This is not our life, that whatever we take from this reality, if we enjoyed from its reality, if we felt we grew from the reality, even if we didn't like the reality and you had the best of manners, then support. And you support with your khidmat, your service, share a comment, it's so easy. You put a nice beautiful comment and the algorithm goes up, you share the video, share the stream, share the charity, all the websites you take the link, you share it. This life of ours, it gives the flavour of our reality, that we become the servants of khidmat and that we try our best with whatever means possible. That, Ya Rabbi, from whatever you gave me of a means I wish to be of service. And this is the fruit and the flavour of our lives. And so mashaAllah our people online is truly Allah sent a blessing for us that the people are strong. They produce beautiful videos, beautiful animations, they produce so many things, so many benefits, so many sharing, so many web pages. I think now 300-400 Muhammadan Way pages on social media with millions of views. One of the kids only has 500,000 views just from sharing a TikTok. So Allah's great. And I think it changes the flavour of our environment so that the holy sunnah is propagated, the image is propagated, and that the people cannot say, we didn't know. Say, no, you knew. And we're teaching people that Dajjal is coming to take away Muhammadun Rasulullah. So inshaAllah Allah don't let us to forget, If you wear that crown upon your head and put the sunnah of Prophet. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. Many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream, every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sallallahu upon you, you're less likely to forget its immense importance and immense blessings inshaAllah. What do we got from online people inshaAllah?
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam.
Sayyidi, is there any relevance between the 6 powers of the heart and shaitan attacking us from 6 different directions?
I have to ask Haji Masala, he knows these things. Haji Bilal's smiling saying, yes, of course there's relevance. Any book that we have is the curriculum, right? We didn't write random books. Oh, here's book astronomy, now I felt like, okay, I'm going to make a travel book, and then I went to this maqam, I wrote this book. These books is this shaykh's curriculum and all interlocked, all interlocked. So the ones whom are understanding, studying and meditating, contemplating, then from whatever's been taught there is a lock into everything. So the foundation of it is going to be what? It's like you go for architectural school and you're going to have been given basic tools. Where you don't show up with those tools you can't do anything as an architect. Our most powerful tool on this path for our teachings, not everybody because people tune in and say, it's not for me, is tafakkur. So you don't hear any other teacher teaching tafakkur other than if they make up something that they read. So this gift has been given and this is the purpose of this class. So with tafakkur and contemplation is our foundation. Nothing can be built without that. Because these are not the books you memorize, oh I read this book now I understand. No, this book is simply something to give you some basic understandings once you're doing your tafakkur and contemplation, because it'll be explained in depth with the tafakkur. Otherwise people take the books and they run away. They say, oh I got all the books, I don't need anything, I don't need you, bye. But it doesn't work that way, the knowledge is encrypted. You read a few lines but the power comes through the tafakkur and contemplation. You lock into the shaykh, it's like your crypto wallet. Everything be verified within you and then they can begin to give you, your wallet. People who don't do crypto they get confused, Shaykh, I don't understand what you're talking about. But it's very nice because this crypto understanding is all about spirituality. Not that crypto is good because many people will lose everything, but the understanding that the place where you put these cryptos, they're your custodian. So it means your reality when you came to tariqah, your shaykh is your custodian of your wallet. So you can't leave your shaykh, even you can try, he has your wallet. You can't go too far. Your reality lies within the shaykh, this is a custodian, this is what the technologies are teaching you. The alam al-Qur'an khalaqal insan, you've been partitioned to a shaykh from the day of promises, ayyawma lastiku wal qalu bala, that on the day that I created you and you said bala. At that time Allah had partitioned all of us that who are you with, this will be your shaykh, this will be your trust, these will be your realities, are you accepting that? And you said bala, you said yes of course. We came to dunya and we forgot, we said, I didn't say that because the nafs is saying I didn't say that. Doesn't matter, don't say it. But there must be somebody on this earth who's the custodian of your reality, these are the guides. Then when we try to make digital currencies, we'll be rolling those out if the end of the world didn't come. You say, okay I'm going to send Naveed 100 coins, but what if he loses them? Then he's going to come, Shaykh I lost all my coins. You have a big problem. So then these companies say, no, we actually will be the custodian of your wallet. You can access it but you can't lose it because we hold the keys. Because when you give everybody the keys they lose them, they lose, where did I put my code? I don't know what the code is, I lost the code, Mahdi lost our codes, we lost the wallet. So yeah, came back later, do you know where you hid the codes? I said, how would I know where I hid the codes? You gave me the codes, you lost the codes. So this is symbolic in life. If Allah gives us the codes, tomorrow shaitan will steal them from you. And now everybody's scared, oh I got this money on this computer money and like a mystical money exists nowhere, but now I can't find where I put my wallet, where I stored it. But what do you think about the haqqaiqs? You think Allah gave you the haqqaiq and it's just there for you, you can use it, you can lose it, you can do what you want with it? Then everybody would have been Faraun and shaitan would have manipulated people to pull their secret out. But it doesn't work like that. So how it works is that, no, you have to be guided. If Allah wants you to reach your secret, He sends you to one of these custodians. As a result of finding the custodian, then how are you going to retrieve your wallet? How are you going to retrieve your realities? Is through tafakkur and contemplation. And we describe this in depth. As soon as you begin to meditate and contemplate, You're trying to connect, and as soon as you call for the presence of the shaykh, they have the bio reading, just like you see on technology. The lights of the shaykh come and begin to scan you. They scan your heart, they scan your eyes, they scan your light, all in the tafakkur. Based on the credibility of who you are, what your condition of your heart and soul are, that will begin to slowly open. So it's amazingly complex and very easy to understand. So you can't come with a bad intention and devils within you and then say, I'm going to meditate. They don't, because as soon as they sit to meditate and you call for the shaykh's lights come, begin to burn those things. Burn them, in which they can't take it and causes a hardship and difficulty. And that's why I say, oh I'm starting to feel this, I get agitated, I get aggravated. Sit. There's something on you that's not right. Energies on you that you have all sorts of villains trying to steal your secret. You have to sit in the tafakkur, the lights begin to come and dress and bless. And those who can endure that process, what happens? As soon as they make their connection, then the shaykh is the custodian of your reality. And as a result of your connection, then the scan, they see the level of purity, the level of sincerity. And that's why we said, if you want to reach level of sincerity then be of service. Otherwise this is a lifelong process, you're going to sit here 200 years and get nowhere. But if you want to quickly gain what you need to gain, then what Prophet did for his companions. 2 battles a day, life and death continuous. Means they didn't have a resting period, they went from one battle, rest, barely rest, go back into another battle. Why? Because Prophet was going to purify all his companions. 124,000 holy companions. So their way in the sunnah of Prophet is people have to struggle in the way of Allah to achieve. When they fight themselves, fight their bad characters, fight their desires, keep the connection, what happens? The light and the faiz begins to come, and that's again from the books. The book describes the levels of the heart. The latest book, The 6 Powers of the Heart, what it describes? The 6 powers that the shaykh has. If you connect then the shaykh's faiz begin to dress you from the holy face. When the face is dressing you and the tajalli is dressing you and these lights are dressing upon you, they're burning through all of these realities and all of these veils. So yes, of course if the heart is opening then what you're going to understand, the heart is called Yasin, hence the book on Yasin. If you want the heart of the believer to open, the house of Allah, that book is called The Levels of the Heart, because that's all about the house of Allah, it's about the Kaaba. And that every believer has a Kaaba which is the house of Allah. Who resides within the house of Allah? Nabiyeen, Siddiqeen, Shuhada'i wa Saliheen. From the angels to the jinn, all those categories are in Allah's house. So that's in the level of the hearts. The book on meditation we just explained is then meditation. The book on Hajj is the whole reality of Lam Alif. 99% of people are going to the Kaaba and they book all their time into the Kaaba. If you read the secrets of Hajj, where's Allah? Kaaba you built. You know who built the Kaaba? Men. They built it, rebuilt it, rebuilt it, rebuilt it. Where is something that Allah built? Medina. And Allah describes, I'm not in heaven, I'm not on earth, I'm in the heart of my believer. That which I built with my 2 hands and I blew my spirit into his reality. So that's the book of The Secret of Hajj. The 99% of the people when they go to Mecca they book all their time into Mecca but they didn't understand the secret. That actually if you want the presence of Allah you go for Mecca but the more time you're supposed to spend in Madinatul Munawwarah, because there Prophet is resting and Allah's presence upon his holy heart. So everything is not so simple for people to understand. Allah is a hidden treasure wanting to be known. Treasures you have to look for. If a treasure just sitting there in the middle of the road, it's not a treasure. So Allah is a hidden treasure wanting to be known. That's why the turuqs and the tariqas they unveil the mystery for the servant because Allah wants them guided. So yeah, the books are the curriculum and each piece is for the puzzle. And then insan kamil, when the student has advanced, their meditation is strong, they understood the heart of Prophet is the heart of Holy Qur'an, they understood the realities of Hajj and Lam Alif, they understood the Surah Yasin, they understood the Lataif, they understood all of these realities. Insan kamil then is the reality that everything is in Muhammadun Rasulullah and that Allah brings creation into existence in the ocean of Muhammadun Rasulullah because there is nothing but La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. There's no creation in La ilaha illallah because Tawheed tells us, the kalimah is clear, there's nothing here but Allah. So when Allah's power going to come and bring creation into existence, it's going to come from the Nur Muhammad because then it stays one, Tawheed. If it keeps coming into different oceans that's not Tawheed, that's multiplicity. The world of light is singularity, multiplicity is dunya. We have many billions of planets but there's only one paradise reality, one heavenly. It can have many tabaqat, many levels like the rings of an onion, it can be infinite in its expanse. So in this ocean of singularity everything is within Muhammadun Rasulullah powered by La ilaha illallah. So alhamdulillah, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, few people are asking on the same topic. The bad characteristics that we see as animals, cockroaches, spiders and demons in our meditation, do we acquire them during our life or are we born with them?
No, Qur'an says you're born pure. How could you be born with the cockroaches? Allah gives to us that we're born pure. We inherit the sins of our father and then our parents deviate our belief based on their belief. Everything is born pure but we inherit the sins of our father, so then that becomes now creatures put upon us. And then depending upon the parents, they believe, they don't believe, they're angry, they're bad. Their children are born into these parents now all tattooed and Allah Allah save and have mercy upon these people. But yeah, I can imagine what they're putting upon these children now that are being born. So they're born into difficulties. And then all our life is like a child we described many times. Imagine your child goes out in the backyard and puts all the worms in their pocket because they're digging, they're playing, they're having fun. And then you say, let's go, we have to go, they get in the car. What happens in the car? Well, everything you put in your pocket is going to come out now, they're going to start crawling out of you. So we're like children, we gathered all this garbage. When the day of death comes and nobody knows when it's coming for themselves, what you brought into the grave is what you brought that in. God's mercy and rahmah give us ways in which we should have cleaned it. So we have a whole discussion on manifestation. So Prophet gave to us, and those are the videos you want to watch about manifestation. That if you want a companion in the grave other than your bad character, because Prophet described everybody will have a companion in their grave. And say, what's the companions? And Prophet described your deeds. So imagine then the deeds that are bad, the shaitans are coming into the grave with that person. People they harmed, their anger, all of their bad characters, creatures, everything, demons, they're going into the grave with the servant. So then why we do good deeds and everybody mocks, oh why you're doing this, why you have to do this, why you have to do… because the good deeds will manifest as creation. You know, there's an angel that will come to the servant when they're dying and say, I'm coming into the grave with you, and say, who are you? Say, I'm Ramadan. Means every time you fasted, this is the dress that Allah has poured upon me, and I'm to enter into the grave to make everything to be beatific. Every time you read the Qur'an, there's a creature that will manifest an angelic reality, and I'm the Qur'an that you read, I'm the salawat that you read, I'm the good deeds and the people, and on and on and on. These good deeds Prophet promised for us is your deeds will manifest. So good tidings for the people whom they try to listen and do good deeds. Why? Because they manifest to enter the grave with us. Then imagine those whom have shaykhs and the shaykh comes to be in the grave with the servant. So that too intercede and to make sure that the bad is kept away and the good is multiplied. This is the blessings of tariqah, the shaykh and guidance is for akhirah and the qabr. That's why they teach us to dunya hasanat wa akhirah hasanat, is to make your dunya's goodness actually build your akhirah hasanat. They're not separate that I'll just do good and then my akhirah inshaAllah Allah will take care of my akhirah. No, we actually want our dunya to build our house in paradise. That let my good deeds, I go and do the mawlid, support the mawlid, or that's a huge house in paradise. I go out and feed and give food and put wells and all of these things, this is a huge house in paradise. I come and I give my time to recite, to be of service, to serve, to do these beatific things, these are a huge house in paradise. The things that we've been ordered to do, alhamdulillah, but the ones that we do out of love, they have the most power. So those whom give themselves to be of service, then those are the immense blessings that enter into the grave for the servant. And imagine the servants whom have an abundance of good deeds in their grave, now they have even more to share with family and relatives. In dunya everybody looks for the rich relative. We go to this relative, he'll give us a loan because he's got a lot of money. Everyone knows the situation in dunya, when you come short you find that relative, hope they can help you. But what about those whom accomplish that in akhirah? That their deeds are heavy, their deeds are good, their deeds are beatific. Now they have enough deeds to begin to ask Allah, please let my deeds to help my children whom are behind. I passed away, now all I can see them is in difficulty. All my loved ones, all the ones whom I cared for. Ya Rabbi, from the abundance of these deeds you've given to me, let me give to them. And then this was the concept of why we visit the awliya, because their deeds are in mountains. That one day with them is 1500 years of worship. Their deeds are like mountains of gold. You go to them, every difficulty resolved. With Allah's permission, if Allah has a specific difficulty want the servant to be tested to, but every true condition is resolved, their paradise stations resolved. It's because of the immensity of the barakah and the blessings. Then the awliya came and taught that you can even bring the maqam to you, make madad. When you call upon the 40 grand shaykhs and 41 grand shaykhs of the Naqshbandi order, they come to be present with the servant as if you visited their maqam. They dress you, they bless you, they resolve all your issues. Say, but still I have a problem. No, that's a test Allah wants you to pass. You're not going to get out of your test. You have to pass your test to get to your degree. Those will have to be passed, but your issue in life is resolved because you find yourself sitting in the tariqah loving Sayyidina Muhammad. Your akhirah issues resolved, your light's been dressed, you're blessed. All of these realities are dressing upon the servants. Every time they make madad, every time they're in the presence of their shaykhs receiving the faiz, the lights and the blessings. So madad is an immense secret and that's immensely attacked by shaitan. The shaitan's dogs go barking as soon as you talk about madad because of the immense power and the reality that it has. You thought if it was haram, you think the shaitans and the Wahhabis would be promoting it. They wouldn't be fighting it. Shaitan loves to promote that which is haram, but he comes strongly against that which is a secret for you. So watch their social media things, how they're promoting everybody, go here, go there, do this, do that. Those are all forbidden. But the things that bring a barakah to a servant's life, they say, oh no, you can't do that. So alhamdulillah, these are the secrets of the malakut, the world of light, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, do Ida gift to our shaykhs after awrad manifest in our graves?
Yeah, the ida manifest in your physical life. Allah asks for us, remember me and I remember you in a higher association. So our life is always to remember the high souls, the bigger souls, the blessed souls. So when we remember Allah, when we remember Prophet and then when we remember the holy souls, the companions, the Ahlul Bayt, the awliyaullah, what happens? They take our small deeds from earth, they take it to their stations because we remembered them. They mix their blessings and send it back down. When you go to see a shaykh, what do? What Allah says in Qur'an? Don't go to the Prophet empty-handed, bad manners, because you're asking for something from him, right? Anyone going to the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad what? Allah gave an order in Qur'an, don't go empty-handed. Bring a hadiyah, a gift to Prophet. Why? Because there's an exchange based on your faith. I'm bringing you a gift, my gift is nothing. That's even the gifting in ida is a hadiyah. So imagine physically, same concept is that when you're going, I don't want to go empty-handed. That's khali, we don't go anywhere in our hand empty. Because if you come empty, you leave empty. Because there's something short and wrong in the character. So this expression and this adab that teaches to us is don't go empty-handed, especially noted to the presence of Prophet. So what they do, they always bring a gift, a hadiyah. And as a result they take the gift, their du'a illuminates the life of the servant. So this is the true alchemy. They say, oh, can you find people who can make gold? Of course they can. They take your gift that you gave is like a copper and a metal and a nickel. Their du'a is a gold upon your soul because you don't know what it took of difficulties and what things can miraculously open, mushkil kusha. So at every moment this is happening because the hand of Prophet is on the tariqahs, upon the shaykhs. So this taught us this mannerisms is immense. As our life then was always of that reality that we never went to Prophet empty-handed, always bringing good news, good deeds, good actions. And as a result the ida is the continuation of the whole philosophy. How I'm going to make this beautiful prayer and this night, and we did all these beautiful salawats, and we don't want to gift that to the presence of Prophet inna sharaf al-Nabi alihi wa ashabihi kiram wa the mashaykhina fi tariqat Naqshbandiyatul Aliyya, and then mentioning why. That from these beautiful deeds I'm sure there must be something in here pleasing to Allah, grant to their holy souls. And each one with their khuluq and beautification, they take what we give as a gift and they showered eternal blessings upon our soul. This becomes the rain of mercy that dresses the students of the way, because they're always giving everything as a gift to the high souls, to the holy souls, to the blessed souls. And those souls they already have everything, they don't need anything from us. But they wanted the one step, come one step to us, think of us. And as a result Allah allows them to send and fill the accounts with lights and blessings. So much barakah people can't imagine. Then people email, I still have my problems. So you talk like that you're asking for trouble, because you don't know what Allah saved you with. You look left and right, your children are alive, your life is functioning. Allah saved you in the way Allah wants to save you. Not to take away your credit card debt because you don't know how to spend on a credit card correctly. It's not what we want, it's what Allah wants. We don't know what difficulty was headed towards us. Which of your children were supposed to go astray and cause an immense difficulty on your life. If you watch some of these social medias, that if one of their children become a drug addict and that drug addict decides he's going to come every day and rob your home until you don't know whether you're going to shoot him or the police going to shoot him, but that child is coming through and he's going to be like a devil in your home. And you watch this on social media where the people are crying, we don't know what happened to this beautiful child. Some devil got into them and every day they come to torment, to rob, to steal. We don't know how Allah's saving us. It's not what we wanted that Allah would take away, but Allah when He says, I set your life and its affairs in order. I cut the ties of shaitan, I bless your family, give your family to have at least some level of faith. Be patient, keep praying, and I make them more and more to believe, have love of Prophet. So many things that Allah is giving to the servant, not necessarily what you're asking, because Allah doesn't submit to you and me, we submit to Allah. But what could have come our way, watch social media where the people crying that they gave birth to something that would devour them. And we said people whom they run away from shaitan, you know what the blessing of that is that shaitan doesn't call you anymore. Then you watch social media that the people try to do good but the shaitans always call them, say, no, you have to come back or you're not allowed to leave. So we can't imagine how Allah saves us and continues to save us at every moment, all day long. So these are the blessings and the dressings, these are the gifts of the ida, this is the gift of the tariqah. When we show our love to the shaykhs, they feel responsible to reciprocate that love with du'as and nazar. So this is an immense way of muhabbat and ishq. We said before, what was the title of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq? Siddiq al-Mutlaq. The tariqah is based on Siddiq. And we say, what is a Siddiq? Is somebody who doesn't lie to you? No, everybody lies. Everybody going to say something not correct and then you try to correct, oh you weren't correct, you said like this last time, then you said like this time. Those are not what we're talking about Siddiq. The Siddiq that Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is teaching for us is that they're true to their love. They live and die with that love, that they live and died with the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. They never left it, they never betrayed it, they never walked against it. So this is a great accomplishment in life, to truly love something and love somebody and to keep to keep its way. And this then becomes the people of Siddiq, and the shaykhs know because of the immensity of their testing. They're tested with unbelievable amount of difficulty, and they kept their love, they kept their way, they kept their covenant inshaAllah until their last breath.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, if we accidentally go somewhere, we shouldn't. Can the darkness still attack us and cast our heart in darkness for days?
If you accidentally go somewhere? If it's by accident, inshaAllah Allah protect you. That's like the guy who called one of these muftis and said, "Shaykh, it was Ramadan, I accidentally ate the falafel and I had some hummus." So we have to define what was accident best in ourselves. So if we step somewhere and I didn't feel like that was good, inshaAllah Allah protect us, we realize we try to keep our heart and safeguard our heart. So this is the best that we can do. But if we continuously put ourselves into a place where we know there's going to be agitation in our heart, then we're facing difficulty. So people try to even ignore the warning signs and they continue. Everyone has to be vigilant over their own heart, inshaAllah. But these teachings, nobody can keep them 100%, but these are the teachings of haqqaiqs and realities. So everybody tries the best to their ability and the rest is Allah's rahmah and mercy. But if we say we didn't know and then we keep crossing the line and entering into difficulty, then we say, well, I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty in my life, I'm doing everything that the tariqah is teaching. So they come and teach these haqqaiqs. The person said, no, the parents are making me that I have to go to the masjid to pray. Well, go back and read the ayah of Qur'an and Allah says, abadan. Don't go to the masjid if it's not built with sincerity and if it's not in the love of Prophet. Because if you're feeling an agitation in there, there'll be a reason you're feeling an agitation. So everybody think that every masjid is great, but no, not every masjid is great because many are not made with the intention of the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. You go in there and you get these bad talkers, violent talkers, and you go home confused with the shak in your heart and you begin to even lose your thought for tariqah because why? You got now hit by a shaitan. And that shaitan takes away faith and may attach himself to the individual, and before you know it these people went somewhere. So that's how you lose your faith, because faith is something very fragile. So imagine if you had like 5 gold coins and every day you kept them in your pocket, and then would you email me, "Shaykh, can I go here, can I go there, can I go there?" You wouldn't email at all because you would be so vigilant over your 5 gold coins. Your love for money wouldn't let you go anywhere. But because we exchange money and said faith, then you say, "Oh, can I go here, can I go there?" because you don't put a value on faith. But when you value your faith, that you know how hard we work for this faith, so why would I want to go do that? So for those who value faith, it's worth more than gold. So you wouldn't walk around with all your wealth in your pocket and, "Can I go down to Skid Row, can I go into this place, can I go into that place?" You would never go because they steal your pocket in 2 minutes. They put you in a corner, put your hands up in the air, give us everything in your pockets and now you lost everything. So faith is more precious. Where are you going with this faith? Now why are you there? Why are you over there? Why are you sitting over with those? Why are you listening to this? And then they begin to guard their ears, "I don't want to hear this garbage, I know this tattooed guy speaking about Islam is garbage." This guy with all these tattoos, he speaks very aggressively with Islam, but da'i first has to fulfill the covenant with Allah. When you're openly against Allah's rules and you want to come and teach Islam, big problem. Go fix yourself before you start talking about Islam. So now you see this is just the internet filled with these things. How can you be openly a renegade to Allah and you're going and teaching? Why are you teaching? First teach yourself. Burn those things off that you put all over you, endure the pain of burning it off, and then come out and now represent Allah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
See, this is a question from the previous night talks. How do the
Nice.
battles between good and evil within our galaxy reflect on our daily choices and actions?
Wallahi I don't know about the galaxy battles. Why you shot to galaxies when we have our battle already here and the battle within ourselves?
So, say the question is within our galaxies, like from you, as you mentioned.
Oh, so the battle within our galaxy means the battle within ourselves, sure. Every battle within ourselves is a great difficulty, and that's why Prophet described the Jihad al-Akbar, the great fight inside. You know how to battle the desire, battle the shaitan inside, and then all the tariqah teaching. So when the people whom are against tariqah, what are they telling us is they don't do any inside work, right? So then that's why the tariqah shaykhs, they can shut them down in 2 seconds. So if you don't do any inside work, what's the value of your salah? The video our guys just made, they make a lot of wudu. So why you made all that wudu? Your salah didn't count. Say, no, who says it doesn't count? I said, because the shaitan is inside you. The shaitan outside of you, okay, alhamdulillah, a little bit of water you burned him away. The shaitan inside of you, he's not letting your salah go anywhere, he doesn't let your du'a go anywhere. So what's the value of that? So the one whom takes a life of fixing inside more is then what? Continuously fighting his shaitan, continuously fighting the inside aggression of shaitan. So that why the inside mutahhireen. Mutahhireen are not outside washed but the inside wash. They're very tahir because Allah doesn't care for the dunya. Allah caring and describing their soul, their hearts are clean, they're continuously making zikr, continuously making tafakkur, continuously analysing themselves not to pass the boundary, not to lose their adab, not to lose their mouth, not to lose their character. This is a great fight. So those people inside they fought, even they pray a little bit physically even dirty. Oh, that's the prayer of a believer. And that's the hadith where Prophet said, you may come across somebody look a little bit scraggly, but if he prays to the 7 heavens because his heart may be of the mutahhireen and outside may be a little bit confusing for you to look at. But Allah doesn't look to the surah, doesn't look to the exterior but looks to the soul and the heart of the servant. But external people look to the outside, but internal people they focus on the inside because they know what Allah's looking at. So this is the great battle, the one whom fights themselves, understands themselves, tries to protect themselves from satanic attack inside so that Satan doesn't overtake their galaxy. Then what happens? If they have command of their galaxy, Allah allows them the command of the external galaxy. Because if you can control your galaxy then you're worthy of entering into the government of Prophet and to be one of the controllers of the external galaxy. Because the dunya is under their authority But those people have to have authority over themselves to the best of their ability. So this is an immense journey, the one whom journeys inside with the guide, not by themselves. If they don't have the guide, then shaitan is playing with them. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Talked about the 16 names to realities. I don't remember that. There were 16 names to your reality. Did we talk about that? I don't remember that. Yeah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, I show gratitude for the honor of tariqah and pray for the strength to hold tight to this rope. How do we keep our children protected if we endured the fitna of divorce?
By good character, and anything that comes in life is going to be a test. You know that you can separate with good character. Anything in life you have a control to the degree that you have a control. So whatever degree Allah gives a control, try to do anything that comes in life with good character. So to the person you love, and one day the person going to be your enemy, try not to make that an enemy. So whatever you entered in with love, with good character you separate. So that's true in anything in our life, whether it's a partner, whether it's a business, whether it's a person, that always part with good character. When you part something with bad character, you ruin everything behind you. So they teach you, don't burn the bridge behind you. So when you part from something, work, a relationship, and you curse and yell and say things that we can never be forgiven or never be sort of reconciled, you burn things, and that's what shaitan wants. But the person whom has a good khuluq and character, they say nothing. There's nothing to regret that was said, and its return is very peaceful. There was nothing burned. So in life the people whom separate with good character, they have nothing burned. Because when you burn a bridge with a family member, or the children are going to suffer. All the loved ones are going to suffer because now there's no bridge for them to cross, and everything becomes upside down, and people feel that's the time to be vengeful and to destroy, and there's nothing to destroy, you can't destroy yourself. So this is a hikmah and a wisdom in everything. Even if you're leaving an employer, you never burn the bridge about you, because you don't know when this person you're going to see them again at another job, at another place, and they're going to give a reference to you. And so everything in our life is interconnected. If we learn good character, we carry it through in everything we do. So this is what saves us, and this is the teaching for all of dunya and especially for akhirah. The way of akhirah we said is much more difficult. Even amongst the shaykhs, if something is wrong and something is bad, the command will come from Prophet, don't say anything. Keep the peace, keep the love, this is something Allah will, not dunya. So you see from the shaykhs whom are trained, they never use the pulpit to go out and try to attack people. This is a satanic character. They use the pulpit only for the good and the love of Prophet. So everything from Prophet is a command to speak good, be kind, keep the peace, keep everything to be with muhabbat and good character. That way there's no agitation and no burned bridges, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
So what test did Sayyidina Sulaiman have to go through after shaitan took his place?
Yeah, inshaAllah, I think we've talked about that before, but those are like entire talks. He lost his kingdom, became homeless and was unrecognizable in his maidan, in his kingdom area, and everywhere he would walk he would say, "I'm King, King Suleiman," and they would bother him. So, what are you talking about now? What are you talking? And he didn't look like King Suleiman. So he was cast out and lost the mighty throne and all the power and all the immense power that came with it, and it all came on a ring. When Allah took the ring, the power was taken, because we said that ring was the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad. So when he didn't obey the guidelines and the law, Prophet took back the authority. So this is always a sign of the greatness of the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad and the immense power of Prophet that Allah has given. Because what ring could give you that type of power? Means this is the ring of Sayyidina Muhammad. This is the sunnah of why we wear a ring, because the Prophet gave that power to all his nation. Just wear the sunnah with intention that, Ya Rabbi faham sunnat al-Nabi fi barakat al-Nabi, we wear with that honour. And when Prophet won, he turned that ring on to be more powerful than what Sayyidina Sulaiman had, because this is Ummat al-Muhammad not Bani Israel. Prophet gave that as a gift to Bani Israel. Imagine what he gives to Ummat al-Muhammad. So these are immense. And we said before, the asa of Sayyidina Musa is whose asa? It's from the sunnah of Prophet. If the asa of Bani Israel could do all those things, what do you imagine the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad? So this is all based on the love of Prophet. You have to have love for the King, and everything he gives to you has power. So alhamdulillah that Allah granted us the greatest honour to be from the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad. And may Allah keep us under that honour and that immense dressing and blessing, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salaam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, does extreme forgetfulness occur due to our bad actions? Is there any way to strengthen the memory? Forgive me for my bad adab and ignorance.
Yeah, in memory as far as dunya, I don't remember anything of dunya anyways. So kids ask me something, the next day I absolutely forgot, ask me what I ate, I absolutely forgot. But forgetting akhirah, that inshaAllah burns into the heart. So that with durood, with the salawat, with the connection. So we said that the awliya they forget nothing but they forgive everything, because the events that burn into the heart and the events of reality and the events that are related to akhirah, then they have to burn into the heart, and that the faith and the light of the heart can pull and retrieve that reality at any time. So they forget nothing but they forgive everything, because they're custodians of a reality. But dunya, it doesn't burn into their heart to remember it. You remember that, you remember this? No, absolutely don't, because I never tried to memorize it initially. We don't do what they say, you don't take it to heart, it's not something you try to put into your realization. So if dunya is fleeting and dunya issues are fleeting, then it's not a problem. But if we feel that I can't remember the haqqaiq, I can't remember the reality, I don't know, did he talk about this before, I don't think I've ever heard this before, then those are the practices of salawat, the meditation. Make sure you're writing. When you're not writing, your understanding of what was spoken is not going to be correct. Now 30 years we're doing this. If the shaykh turn around and ask you like, what we just said? And then you say, I don't know what we just said, because you don't have it written. When it's not written then you're not a custodian for knowledges, you're just going to be a nafsani person, because you're going to mix what you thought was said with what you wanted said, It's not a custodian of the shaykh's reality. So to be a custodian of the shaykh's reality, then they wrote. When they wrote, then those are the words of the shaykhs that they understood and they wrote them. As a result, that's burned into their heart. Their reference library is correct, right? Like the AI, you say, where's the AI getting this information from? Some of no John and a lot of hallucination that would be cut off, right? So the guys go back into the AI and they begin to cut down hallucinating. But that's exactly like dunya, that you picked up a couple words and you hallucinated the rest. That's dangerous because then this shaykh said this, shaykh, he didn't say any of those things. But when you have it written, you go back and look at what you wrote. So I think this is what he wrote, this is what we talked about that night. Then it would be there. As a result of that type of character, then that now is a character that their life is very organized, their knowledges are organized, their reference in the knowledge is correct. Because why? They cut the hallucination out. If you hallucinate for 1 week, you hallucinate for 6 months, you hallucinate for 6 years, imagine at the end of 10 years, 20 years what happens? Complete hallucination. Very dangerous because then what would the shaykh taught? There's nothing from what he taught. So to document the realities and to make it to be exactly how my shaykh taught it, exactly how my shaykh described it, then from there they opened even beyond that, so that it was a true haqqaiq and reality, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below. The programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.